Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Fortitude Fix. I hope you're well. My name is DaShanna, and in today's video, I am bringing you my 5-month pregnancy update. Y'all, we are almost there. We are almost there. So, as some of you may know, I am pregnant with our second baby, and I am doing these updates a bit retroactively just because of everything that's been going on in my life. So in real time, I am further along than this, but I wanted to bring to you my 5-month update. I will be covering weeks 18 all the way to 22. So if you're interested in hearing all about my pregnancy with baby number 2 this time, go ahead and just keep on watching. Okay, so before we get into it, as always, I'm gonna let you know my stats in case you're new here. Go ahead and click that subscribe button if you haven't already. But I am pregnant with our second baby. Our first baby was a baby girl named Nova, and she will be 20 months old when this baby arrives. So we are gonna have 2 under 2, y'all. Leave me your advice down below if you've ever had 2 under 2. I also have sickle cell disease, type SC hemoglobin. I make sure to talk about that all the way through my pregnancy updates. And if there's anything that comes up with sickle cell, I let you know. So far, so good. But I do want folks to know that this is a pregnancy journey with someone who does have sickle cell. I feel like it's really important to talk about, and so I am using my platform to do so. I also have 2 fibroids. One of them is small and it's pretty much non-existent, and the other one is pretty sizable but not as big as it was during the first pregnancy. I did not have a myomectomy. I did not have the fibroids removed because they weren't causing any issues in life and also in pregnancy, and so it's very invasive situation. We decided to leave them alone for now. So that's everything that is going on. Let's go ahead and start with week 18. So as y'all know, I love my app. So I go to the What to Expect app on my phone, and I use the 80s, 90s nostalgia because that is just where my heart lives. So in week 18, it says your baby is as big as a disposable camera. Now, those disposable cameras were everything, okay? Like, you just had to go buy them, you had to get the 2-pack, okay? And then you had to get the film developed. I remember when I was little, my mom would like wait on getting the film developed a little bit, and I would be so anxious. I wanted to see what the pictures were as soon as possible. So in week 18, baby's the size of a little portable camera. How cute. In week 18, I had yet another doctor's appointment. I think this one was just a follow-up and it was a phone call. If I have any, or was it Zoom? Anyway, if I have any like footage of that, I'm gonna drop it in, but it was just really quick, checking in, seeing how I felt, seeing how I was doing, keeping track of my weight, and it was really quick. They also talked to me a little bit about birth control and like what I wanted to do after baby number 2, if we wanted to have more children, or if I wanted to look into some sort of reversible birth control option, hormonal or not. Kind of just having that conversation with your care team about what your plans are regarding family planning. So we had some discussions there. If you caught my last update, I'll link it here in the iCards and down below in the description. But my mom passed away during month 4 of this pregnancy in week 16. And so here we are in week 18, and my mom's funeral is this week. I have been dealing with all the planning and getting the programs finalized and printed, making sure folks know and have been alerted, and, you know, to the funeral date and time, location, and parking arrangements. Just a lot happening in week 18, but that was the week that my mom's funeral took place. In terms of pregnancy, I felt really good. I felt really strong. I felt very energetic. I wore heels to my mom's funeral, and I was in them literally all day, and I was just feeling a lot of things, but feeling any type of fatigue or upsetness or sickness or anything like that having to do with the pregnancy was not there. I felt really, really good physically this week. It was just an emotional week, as you can imagine. All right, let's go ahead and jump into week 19. Week 19 says your baby is as big as a Viewmaster. If you don't know what a Viewmaster is, you gotta get one. I don't even know if they still make them, but it's super cool. Basically a thing that you look through and you get to click and click and click through like slides, and it like looks really cool. So anyway, super nostalgic, but I remember looking through those and being like, whoa, there's something there. It's like a whole different reality, right? Anyway, so week 19 for me during pregnancy was pretty fun because that's the week that we had our anatomy scan. Now, we did find out the sex of this baby quite a while ago, but during the anatomy scan it was confirmed. We looked at everything anatomy, and it was a pretty long appointment, pretty long ultrasound, but it was super fun. My husband stayed home with Nova, and I was able to FaceTime him and show him the screen and everything that was going on. It was really a good time, and this baby was moving and kind of being shy, but kind of being ornery in a way, and you know, was like doing this one stretch out. It was so cool to see. And I also noticed that this ultrasound looked completely different than any of the other ultrasounds that I've had with Nova, and that's because my placenta is anterior. So my placenta is like right on top of baby. So here's baby, here's placenta, and I'll get to this shortly, but like it took a while for me to feel baby move, and that's the reason why, because the placenta is right here kind of acting as a buffer. So that was really cool to see. And yeah, it was a really good appointment. I felt good about it. I did learn some news. So if you have been following me for a while, you know that I talked a lot about my fibroid experience, being pregnant for the first time and having this like super large fibroid. So turns out I didn't just have 2 fibroids, I had 3. I had 3 fibroids, y'all, this whole time. And so, yes, the doctor who was doing my ultrasound during this anatomy scan was different than the ones that I saw last pregnancy. However, they said that it wasn't anything new. It was the same one. And they were just like on top of each other, looking as if they were one big fibroid, but they were actually 2 that were like clumped together. So last pregnancy, they measured them as 1. So you'll see I have a video like talking about my 18-centimeter fibroid, and that's what I had been told that whole pregnancy. And it wasn't until this 20, it was during 19 weeks, but I was almost 20, anatomy scan that the doctor actually said that it's 2. They saw a distinction between them, pretty faint, but it was 2 separate ones that had just like kind of like stuck together. And so they just measured it as 1 last time, whereas this time they distinctively told me that it was 2 and that they measure separately, but they took the overall measurement again. So essentially they said one of them was 8 centimeters and one of them was 9 centimeters. So that puts me at about 17 centimeters, which is kind of where I was a little bit more by this time last pregnancy. So by the time I give birth, who knows, it might be 18 again, but it's 2 smaller ones. I had no clue. No one had ever told me that. So that was news. And then obviously the third one is what I, kept mentioning at the bottom right, which is not in the way of anything. I'm cleared for vaginal delivery just like last time, and that one has shrunk and they really aren't looking at it at all. They're just keeping an eye on my other one. And so just in case you're curious, I do have the fibroid that is subserosal. So that means that it is not in my uterus, it is like outside of my uterus and growing that way. And it's just growing because the uterus is growing itself, so everything is expanding, and it's not affecting baby at all, and I don't have any pain or any issues currently. During the anatomy scan, baby's heart rate was 147 BPM or beats per minute. Baby was measuring at 11 ounces. And I had gained another 3 pounds since week 16, or the last appointment that I had. That's when I found out that my placenta was anterior. So I was due back in a couple of weeks for another ultrasound, but the appointment went very well, and that was week 19. So I was back at work and just kind of trying to settle into whatever this new normal was or is. All right, let's go ahead and talk about week 20. In week 20, your baby is as big as a Beanie Baby. Oh, wow. Okay, so I don't know if y'all remember the craze with Beanie Babies, but there's a documentary out right now. I'm gonna put it down here, what platform it's on. Y'all should watch it. That whole Beanie Baby craze, wild. I watched it with my husband not too long ago. Anyway, side note. Let's get back to the update. Week 20 was Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and so I spent the holidays with my husband's mom and his sister and their stepdad, so that was really fun. I've obviously been, you know, to their home before, but it was a really different experience, but it was a fun experience and it was a very emotional experience as well. So being my first holiday season, my first Christmas without my mom, who literally had just passed a couple of weeks prior, and Christmas was really big growing up. As a single mom, she did everything she could to make Christmas amazing, and it was. So, you know, obviously things changed when I like moved out and got married and things like that, but our traditions were still kind of, you know, watching each other open presents and taking turns and just really loving on each other. And so, yeah. It was difficult, but I had a really good time. My husband even planned a little date night for us where his mom watched the baby and put her to bed and everything like that. And we went and got like a hotel and we went out to the movies and had dinner, and it was just really sweet. Christmas Day was so much fun. Nova was playing with her cousins that she met for the first time and had a blast. Literally, I could barely get her in the car seat before she fell asleep. She ate good, we ate good, and it was just a joyful day. Although it was kind of tough and emotional, we got through it. It was a nice Christmas holiday. I was also feeling baby move so much more. It's like once I learned that my placenta was anterior, for some reason I just all of a sudden started feeling the baby. But also it was so nice. It was nice to kind of be grounded back to reality in that way. Week 21. Baby is the size of a Kool-Aid burst. Yes, these little squeezies. Do y'all remember those? You had to like twist the plastic cap and drink. It was like the blue one or the red one over here. I don't know what like ones y'all liked, but super fun. Week 21, I felt a ton of fetal movement. This baby was moving a ton, y'all. So much, and it felt really good. Remember again the joyous experience it is to grow a human. Dad felt baby for the first time, so my husband was able to really feel the kicks, and it was super just cute to see them have their moment. Also this week, Nova did the cutest thing. She was starting to see like my belly is like bigger, and she was getting really curious, and so I was telling her, you know, I've been telling her this whole time, but I think she really started to see it, and she just like came up and she gave my belly a hug and she kissed the belly and she was like patting it, trying to be really gentle, and just laid her head down on the belly, and I swear y'all, I was a pile of mush. Oh my gosh, it was the sweetest thing in the world. It was just so great because again, going through a lot of feelings and emotions, but to have that experience in that moment with just my daughter and I and this pregnant belly here, it was so cute. This baby is super active at night, so I remember like moving and trying to find good positions, and this baby will let you know, okay, if you are in a position that they don't like. So I was trying to figure out sleep this week and positions and how I could be comfortable in a bed laying down with like all my organs shifting all over the place, essentially. Week 21 came with a lot of fatigue as well. I think I probably wasn't really sleeping well, so therefore my days were really weird and awkward. I'm falling asleep at random points of the day. Like literally, it used to take me so long to fall asleep. It would have to be kind of like quiet, or maybe have like the TV glow or whatever. I just remember growing up, and even as a teenager and in college, it seemed to take me a long time to go to sleep. Not anymore. I will be asleep halfway through a sentence almost. Like that's how quickly I can go to sleep. So that's what's been going on in week 21, as well as pregnancy brain has taken over. I feel it so much worse this time. So I don't know if it's like mom brain mixed with pregnancy brain, but I can say something literally out of my mouth and then 2 seconds later I don't remember what I said. Or my husband will tell me something and I say, I know you said it, I know you told me, but what were you talking about? What did you say? And it's just, I'm saying huh a lot. Huh? Like, can you repeat yourself? What'd you say? And you know, it's happened at work where I'm just like, you know what, I know we talked about this, but can you remind me, you know, the status of XYZ? So I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it this week in week 21 for sure. All right, let's go ahead and get into week 22. This is the last week of this update. Week 22 says your baby is the size of an astronaut ice cream package. Okay, I was never into those, but I remember like going to some of the sporting goods stores and you would see some of the like freeze-dried ice creams and astronaut ice creams, and I don't think I've ever tried it, but I think it's a texture thing for me, so I don't know much about it. But that's the size of baby at week 22. Week 22 was really emotional for me. If you've ever dealt with someone passing in your life, you may or may not have had to deal with all of the systems after the fact, right? So informing people of things, getting death certificates, sending death certificates, all of the things that this person had going on, their cell phone, their insurance, their retirement plan, their will if they had, their life insurance, their, you know, car insurance, their you know, all the bills at the house. Like, there's just everything that this person is involved in. And so I was dealing with all of that and making all the calls and answering all the calls and providing all the information and signing documents and helping my stepdad sign documents, and it was just a lot. And so one of the other things has to do with their banking and their finances. And so I had taken over my mom's finances from, you know, months prior, and now there's a whole nother level of things to go through. And I had been having issues with the bank this week, and it all came to a head. I felt like I wasn't treated well. I felt like I was given the runaround. People said they cared and said they were sorry, but like not, you know, and I was given misinformation that prolonged certain things, and I'm trying to stay on top of it and take care of business just like my mom taught me to. But I came home and I lost it. I feel like I was crying in the car, and then I was trying to hold it in because I didn't want Nova to like be afraid or anything. So I walked in and I just literally dropped everything and like ran upstairs, and I just was sobbing. I don't know what it was, but that bank experience was the last straw. I was sobbing. I think it was all of the emotion from the funeral that I finally decided to let out. I think it was just the realization that like I'm doing this because it's really hard to wrap your mind around the fact that you're doing these things because this person is no longer here to do it themselves. I was freaking out with some stuff at work, and people at work, not my coworkers, but the work that I'm in, and dealing with other people outside of our organization was really hard in the way that they were speaking to me and communicating with me. And I'm just kind of taking the brunt, trying to be professional, right? And then dealing with like things at home, and just like, it was so much, y'all. I had like this emotional breakdown in week 22, and I could not function for the rest of the day. I had to take a nap. I had to kind of check out, and I appreciate my husband for taking care of dinner, taking care of the dog, taking care of the baby, taking care of me. Like, I was useless that day, and I just really needed to not be needed. Like, everybody needs me all the time, it feels like, right? And I just really needed to be like left alone and just deal. And I slept for a long time. I don't know, I probably watched some trash TV, but like I was just not present, and my husband allowed me that time, and I'm so grateful. Dealing with grief during pregnancy is very, very tough. But that was kind of how week 22 started out. Nova always makes me feel better, so I did see Nova. She came in at one point when my husband was bringing me my water bottle, and she just came and just gave me kisses and hugs and stuff, so it was really sweet. that is it for my 5-month pregnancy update. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope that you learned something. I hope that this was fun for you. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and go ahead and click that subscribe button down below. I'd love to have you be a part of the fam. Like I said, we are almost caught up, y'all. I'm almost in real time here, okay? We're getting these out and ready for you so that we can catch up and I can continue to make additional content being pregnant. There's some other stuff going on in life that I'm really excited to announce to you all. We are gonna talk about the sex of this baby. We are going to just, all the things are gonna be happening over here on this channel. So stay tuned and stick around, and I will see you in my very next video very, very soon. As always, remember to fill your cup. Bye.